Civis Pacem.
Hi everyone, welcome to our new channel Tribun here on YouTube. And at first I would suggest we introduce ourselves. In the lower right corner there's my son Max. Hi Max.
Hi.
Yeah.
And probably at the upper left-hand corner, you will see my dad.
Hi.
Um, we're both from Germany, and we made this game. It's called Tribun, as you may have, read in the title.
Yeah.
And yeah, I
Reading
think we
abilities are an advantage.
so.
Oh wait, I'm jumping into the board view. And well, what was a driver for you to how came the idea that you wanted to make a new game?
I wanted to make a game for a long time. At that time, it's I think 1.5 years later. Uh, but I wanted to make something. And you know, in chess, you have these machines that can see every move you can possibly make and then evaluate them and just can see every possible future and pick the best one. And I really disliked that and the whole um, just memorizing of the first up to 20 moves on master level play. It's just not what I like to play. I think you should explore a game like this, and so I made a game that is quite brute force, unfriendly. It's kind of fighting against this brute forcing idea.
Mhm.
Um, and It's like chess and Go, an abstract strategy game. You see these towers, they have different pictures, and depending on their picture or their height, they will move differently. Um, so you have a height. This is height of 3. And the height, on the height will depend the damage a figure does. So like you have a unit of 3 height, and you have a unit of 2 height. And if you attack the 3 high unit with a 2 high unit, you will just wound it, and you will deal a damage of 2.
Yeah.
So not only movement, but attacking and health is bound to the height too.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you may wonder if if everything basically is depending on the height, how would you change the height of a unit? And that's quite simple. You can either move or attack, or you can restructure uh, pieces. You can either split them up, like this, for example, or you can build a higher unit by combining two. So you have
Mhm.
2 and 3, and you can build a unit of 4 because you have 5 to your disposal, and you can just use one less.
Yeah, all the detailed rules for decombining and combining we will cover in later videos so that you're not getting lost in this subject. Maybe I'm wondering, well,
Oh,
where are the plus signs?
they are here. At least they should be. Um, let's pick him up. Well,
Ah,
now
there are
we
the
have
plus signs. Yeah, I was
here are the
wondering.
plus signs.
The plus signs mean you can combine. Okay.
Yeah. So Who's going to be interested? I think honest marketing may be the best shot. I think if you like to not be so, if you're more casual, if you don't want to memorize a lot of stuff, and if you want to get in and get your hands dirty, maybe explore stuff and find tactics. You can then claim that they are yours because you found them first. If you're that kind of guy, you're probably interested. Um, if you if you like complexity, and if you like kind of figuring out tactics, how to play the best, you're probably welcome too. But keep in mind there will probably not be something that knows the perfect move, because brute forcing will be hard, and there will only be estimates.
Yeah.
Um,
Tribun is quite. I know it's not similar to chess. It's we have some kind of a homage when you see the service,
yeah,
maybe. But it's
walking,
an what is it as abstract tactical
yeah.
game, or what was the real name
It's
for it?
the book term would be abstract strategy game without hidden information.
Ah, right.
And because you can clearly see every piece, and
No fog of war.
yes, and if you lose something, it's permanently lost.
Mhm.
Also, we play, as you may have seen, on a hexagonal grid. And we built a hexagon out of hexagons. Um, and the edge length is 6.
Mhm.
Um, so you play on 91 hexagons if you're interested. So,
Yeah, and what
let's
is our dream? We want to build up a huge community with dedicated players all around the world to discover all that beauty that lies beneath the surface of this game. And yeah, maybe maybe you back there, are in that, so that we do it together. And we're really looking forward to it.
yes. Maybe say about this simulation, this world, if you so
I
wish.
know, right. This, what you see here is a DLC downloadable content in the Tabletop Simulator. The Tabletop Simulator in itself is a physical engine. We downloaded it from Steam. Um, it's about $15 or so, and well, you can play a lot of games within this physical engine, everything you can imagine, and now the new game Tribune as well. Um,
It's for free, isn't
and it
it?
is for free, yeah, it is for free, and it will be for free forever, because our dream, as I mentioned before, is that we build up a huge community, and that can only be achieved if you are not building up barriers so that there are people yeah, hold out. And yeah, we have printer files as well, because in the first days we were shaping this and prototyping, we had a real yeah, real wood. What you see here
Or
is existing in the real world, you know. And all the pieces we printed out on a 3D printer. The files will be linked below the video, as well as the field itself with all the hexagons on it. So you can print it
well,
out, glue it to cardboard. Sorry.
way back, we didn't have a wooden, we had a wooden board, but we like glued printed paper. That is in
Mm.
the description, and we made uh every figure out of epoxy glue. So,
Yeah,
um, and
yeah, it was
that was a little bit messy.
yeah,
So 3D printing
rolling up the
file,
sleeves and going to work, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, you can pick pieces from other games, maybe from I don't know.
again.
Dame is oh, I don't remember.
Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
games with pieces like that, you can stack them up. Um, Look out that you can stack them up to a height of about, let's say 10, 12, or 14 or so, because there will be something we call imperos. Then you can force an enemy unit to be controlled by your unit. And
checkers.
if the pieces slip, then everything is breaking apart and rolling on your board, and that's no fun at all. So the printer files we attach below have yeah, a special shape so that they cannot slip off that easily.
Yeah,
Um,
little pointed heads. It's
yeah,
quite
right.
like a circus. So
And
like,
maybe you can say something about the web version you are still constructing now.
yeah, it's on the construction. It's a really pain in the butt to wire up all the interactions from scratch. Like, I can pick that up, no worries. Um, I'm coding up a 2D view, so you don't see the heights, you only see pictures. Um, and like the problem is it's a little bit awkward to code that all up.
And
Yeah,
especially the UI
bother
is very, very complex in this case. I'm trying to show this here. If you are watching from directly upside down, you cannot see the height anymore.
Yes, and it will require a little bit getting used to it. Uh, I want to make it especially user-friendly so that that could be a combination, but that you also can decombine freely.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah,
and it's a
you will
whole
do
lot
it.
under the hood complexity, but I'm not going to bother you with that. Uh,
Not now.
That's my
Maybe in a
problem.
later video.
So, well, I we should get the last point done. How frequently do we want to just put stuff out?
Yeah, I guess we wanted to inform and entertain our community twice a week, maybe Wednesday and Saturday or something like that.
Yeah,
We will see, yeah. And we will show games, reviews of our games. We'll do some what we call deep dive. Then we are going into a game at a certain move, and
or
we are going straight into the game and changing the game at this point and say what could have happened if one had reacted in another way. Um,
so like
well,
who's winning at that point in
yeah.
time, maybe who's a more pleasant position. Like you can't really say who's winning unless you
Uh,
kill the enemy.
yeah.
By the way, that's the only there is no checkmate like in chess.
Mhm.
You win if you kill or if you stalemate the other person,
But
and
stalemating is very, very hard to achieve.
yes, and you win if the other person just resigns. So
Or
then
runs
he's
out of time.
yes. So
Well,
um
one point, we have built-in PC version, so if you don't have an opponent at the table right now, you can play at any time against the computer itself. So you always
0
have an
to
opponent
0.
ready. But how this is done is, yeah, it is described in the manuals on the left-hand side from the white's point of view.
Right hand.
And we will cover this section in another video. So um, yeah, I think we are
Then
done now, right?
yes, I think so too.
So we're going to our goodbye screen. Thanks for your attention and welcome here. And yeah,
See you soon.
on Tribun.
Have a good one.